Welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to plan an assessment in eLumen. And in this video, I'm actually going to specifically focus on planning an existing assessment. Now, I am in a very specific role here, so I'm going to switch that out and go to Department Coordinator. So everyone here at LMC will have different roles, and you don't want to do this in your faculty role. So department chairs, you're going to want to go into your Department Coordinator role. Once you're there, you'll be in the Strategic Planning tab automatically. So go ahead from the Strategic Planning tab, you notice it's selected, hover down here to Planner and click that. Now, right now I'm in my current department and I'm going to want to plan an existing assessment for the third semester of calculus for multivariable calculus, which is Math 230 at my institution. And I don't want to look at anything with a plan. If it has a plan, that means an assessment's already been assigned and may or may not have already been scored. So I'm going to check without plan. And then I want to be clear about what semesters I want this assessment to be completed in. This is our current semester of spring 2025. So, I can't uncheck it yet. I need at least one semester, so let me start there. So suppose, and this is not necessarily the case, suppose the course, Multivariable Calculus Math 230, is a cohort 1 course on our 5-year cycle. Then I'm going to want to check fall 2022, spring 2023, summer 2023. This will give you all 3 semesters in our first cohort. Then I'm going to click refresh. Okay, so to recap what I've done, I'm in my department coordinator role. I'm in the strategic planning tab. I clicked on planner. I selected I meant to select 3 semesters. Good thing I'm recapping. Let me uncheck spring 2025. I selected 3 semesters without plan and I clicked refresh. So now that we've recapped, let's go ahead and find Math 230. I'm going to go down here and just click on any of these. And I'm going to scroll down. Luckily, these options stay where they are. And I'm scrolling down. And I'm almost there. Here it is, Math 230. And let's suppose I want to plan this assessment for spring 2023 specifically. So I'll drag it down here. And I'm going to find an assessment for all sections and go to next. And you should see a list of assessments. And here is one that ignore the name, it's a test assessment. And I'm going to check on it. What you should do in your own department is make sure you have the name of your assessment written down here. As you can see, this says it's planned. I already added it to the spring 2025 semester. That necessarily will not be the case in your scenario. You can also check on another one that has maybe not been planned. So actually, let's do this one. And let's click next. And now here's where you can send a notification. You do not necessarily have to send a notification, but if you do, the course coordinator is the faculty member who's listed on the course outline of record. The department coordinator is the department chair for that department. So if you're a department chair, that notification will go to you. Or if you have co-chairs, it will go to you and your co-chair. And division coordinator, that's your dean. I don't necessarily want to deal with sending a message right now, but you could write a notification to be sent a certain number of days after the term starts or a certain number of days before the term ends. So I'm just going to uncheck send notifications and alerts. If you leave this checked, you won't be able to confirm until you've completed the message sections and checked off who you want to send it to and listed the number of days. So I'm just going to uncheck that and click confirm. And I've planned this successfully now. Now, suppose you wanted to assign it to all 3 semesters of that year, then you would drag it here. And it'd be the same way. Once you dragged it on there, it'll show that you're planning it in the fall of 22, spring 23, and summer 23. And you can click next. And here's the list of assessments. And you can see this one's already planned in spring of 2023. In case you're wondering why it's grayed out, it's because it's technically inactive. You probably shouldn't plan inactive assessments. But here we go. So I'm going to plan this one. And click next and confirm, and suddenly this assessment has been planned. Now that you've planned your assessment, you may be wondering what faculty will see. So I'm going to switch my role to faculty. And suppose you've assigned an assessment to me for this current semester, spring of 2025. When I first load eLumen under my faculty roles right here under my to-do list, and I could click on it to score it under scorecard view. And as you can see, to score it, it's as simple as just going and clicking down this way. Now, when you're done checking all these, let's say I went through and checked all of them, and clearly I didn't here, I could go save and continue to reflection, and this is where you would type up your responses. Of course, I wrote, anything that came to mind, test 1, test 2, test 3, but really, here's where you would reflect on your teaching, and we do ask that you answer these first 3 questions, and then these last ones are just a custom space for any department-specific questions and answers, or any more of a narrative you want to provide. These are not required. So here I'm pretending that I had a narrative. Oops, excuse me, I accidentally clicked away. And for these ones, I just typed in NA, and then I'm going to submit and share. And then, of course, I could go to Results Explorer from here in my fact. So now that I'm in my Results Explorer, I can compare my student performance between 2 semesters that I've taught this course. Here I can see that, students met expectations, did not meet expectations for different semesters. So it looks like as we progressed from one semester to another, this first CSO, my students did worse, but on the second CSO, my students did better. And I could also see which reflections I've completed and have not completed. So again, this is what faculty would see when they first enter eLumen, and if they ever lose that view, tell them to always just click on the inbox here. The inbox is great. And here I can see that I've only actually scored 10 out of 31 students, so I should continue to do that. All right, please keep calm and assess on.